Very melodious.
So it's his first time here in Rochester. Okay, so make sure he has a good time when he comes back.
Not the last.
So, have you seen this devotee here before? Venu Gopal. Who's seen him before?
Hari.
Yeah.
He's famous.
He's famous.
He's famous.
Yeah. He's, okay, if he's famous, he's that famous, where is he from?
From the manor.
Well, someone said to me, he said, where are you from? I said, from the same place you are. And so, he's from the Caribbean, St. Vincent. Anybody been to St. Vincent? Yeah. You've been? Have you been?
No, I think you.
No, yeah, but he said he went just recently, a couple of weeks ago, to see his family. So he sent me some videos, and I thought, my God, this is like heaven on earth. How did he end up in England? Anyway, he came to help. Yeah, he came to help to spread the Sankirtan mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, so who has anybody seen this devotee before? Put your hand up.
Nobody has a criminal watch, no?
Wanted.
Yeah, so
Later life preferably can.
does anybody know what his name is? Can you put your hand up? Not me, no. Yes. Anybody know what his name is?
Jaya Krishna.
Okay,
Jaya
Jaya Krishna.
Krishna.
Okay, so Jaya Krishna Prabhu is one of the senior devotees at Bhaktivedanta Manor. Like I told you before, he touched Srila Prabhupada's feet when he was 13 years old in 1977. And he got a piece of mango that was eaten by Srila Prabhupada. And he's, I think he has 13 like brothers and sisters, you know, and most of them are all devotees. So me and Jaya Krishna, we joined the temple Bhaktivedanta Manor when we were teenagers in 1980. So since then we've knocked on a lot of doors and we've caused the left a trail of destruction behind us. So anyway, so Jaya Krishna Prabhu is going to be giving this evening's talk, and you're welcome to ask him lots of questions and keep them on his talk. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Can I get a little bit more better reception? Hare Krishna! Thank you very much. So, it's lovely to be here. You might remember me from last year. I came over here. And it seems like it's going to be a yearly thing coming over here. So, I'm going to start off with something completely mundane. So, who watches Cops and Robbers films? Cops and Robbers, yeah. So, Starsky and Hutch, Lethal Weapon. So, in those kind of film scenario, there's always a good cop and bad cop, yeah. And you see the scene, you know, they've got the criminal. He's in the kind of witness room, and then he's sitting there, and he's thinking in his mind, they got nothing on me. And then two guys come in. And the first guy throws a folder and he starts shouting at him, starts to kick the chair around and starts to slamming, we're going to lock you up for the rest of your life. And then that guy is shaking. And then after a while, then the other cop says, ease off a little bit, go and cool off, you know. And then by that time, the criminal is shaking and shaking, you know. And then the other cool guy, the one who's the soft guy, then he works on his guilt, and then he somehow or another convinces him to tell the truth. So me and Godruma are the good cop and the bad cop. We're the dust twins. And I'll let you decide which is the good cop or the bad cop, or the good devotee or the bad cop. So I'm going to talk first, assuming I'm the bad cop. So I'm going to heavy you out about the material life, about how you should surrender everything, Atman Nivedam. And then Godram is going to push me to the side. He says, take it easy, these guys are lovely devotees, go easy with them. And then he'll soften the blow and he'll give you the icing on the cake. How does that sound? Sounds okay? Alright, so we'll just go through a little bit of a meditation first. So we ask you to please, you can make a little formation like this. This is to help the energy flow. I know everyone's feeling hot, so this energy will be a cooling effect. Nitya Pada Kamala, the cooling rays of Lord Nityananda are more cooling than the moon itself. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, breathe in and breathe out. Let it all go, let all your stress, anxiety. And if you know the prayers, please join in. Otherwise, just in meditation, enjoy the mantras, enjoy the transcendental sound vibration. This will clear your mind, clear your aura, cleanse your chakra, and then we'll be receptive to hear some Divya Gyan. Together, if you know the prayers. Ajnana-timarandasya Jnana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitanjena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radhakanta Namostute, Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Vrishabhanusute Devi, Pranamami Hari Priye. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Last one with all your heart. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Tat Sat. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. You can open your eyes. Please do kindly check your pockets. No one's linked to your phones or anything. So, looking around, I think you're all seasoned devotees. I don't think anyone's a first-time comer. Anyone first-time comer here? I think you understand Krishna consciousness. I think you're aware of the Krishna consciousness philosophy. So, I'm not going to bore you with the same, you're not the body. We're going to delve into something a little bit different. Who likes stories over here? You like stories? Yeah, from the day we were born, we always told stories. Our parents read us bedtime stories. I don't know if you remember, some of you. Do you remember Jack and Nori? Jack and Nori, after school, you would remember Jack and Nori. One time I was really a bit surprised. I came from school and Jack and Nori was on it. You know what story was on Jack and Nori? This was in 1973. It was the Ramayana. I was really blown away. And for the first time I watched Jack and Nori. So yeah, we all like stories. Stories are something that's been told. In India, communication was done through different traveling caravans. There was no WhatsApp, there was no telegram, there was no phones, there were no smoke signals. So how was communication done? So different caravans, they would travel from village to village and they would camp up somewhere in the village. They would have bonfire, they would have some kind of merchant stuff, spices, silks, saris. And then in this way, in the evening, they would tell different stories. The Ramayana, the Mahabharata, the Puranas, Vishnu Puranas. The stories were always part of the Vedic culture. In fact, there were no written books before. Everything was done orally. They had something called Shruti Da memory. Ooh. Anyone know what Shruti Da memory means? Let's see if you are seasoned or not, yeah? What does Shruti Da memory mean? Anyone?
Just by listening, you remember.
This guy's a genius. Give him a clap. Not only has a good shirt, but he's also got a good memory. So Shruti Da memory means that when you're told something once, you remember everything. So when I speak for the next half an hour, afterwards you'll remember everything tomorrow morning. Is that correct? Or is it going through one ear and out the other ear? Of course, in Kali Yuga, Sumanda Bhagayo, our memory diminishes. So then from the oral reception, then it came into a written form. And again, I'll just do a little bit of a checklist for you. And then who transformed from the oral to a written form? Not you, Shanti. We'll see if we can get someone else. So it was all orally spoken. Stories were spoken here and there. And then we started losing our memories. We couldn't remember what, Kodruma was saying. And it was a nice story, but I just can't remember what it was. So some clever clerk thought, let's write it down. So who was this clever person who decided to write it down? Give him a clap as well. So Vyasadeva started to write it down, and he wrote the Vedas and divided it all different chapters for easy access. And his crème de la crème was, what stories did he write down? What was his crème de la crème? Isn't it? We just now went to, we went to her house. We had the most amazing prasadam. I don't want you to feel all envious. I think she's very kind.
Really?
She's brought something here. And then the crème de la crème was, she brought some ice cold Kirtan. Whoa, Kirtan, yeah. It was very, very nice. It was very nice, and it was done with love, bhakti, and devotion. And we all were laughing. In fact, we were so happy. We were just like transfixed. So, what was the crème de la crème? Who said something? Not Srimad Bhagavatam, give it a big hand. The Srimad Bhagavatam. That all the stories of Krishna literally translates into the beautiful pastimes of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And because you're all very, very seasoned devotees, I can see the scars on you, I can see the bhakti marks all on you. I can see the prasadam all floating around your eyeballs. So once you've read the Bhagavad Gita, once you've tasted the divine nectar of Krishna's lotus feet, then you churn the milk, and then from the kheer you get the burfi. And what's the burfi scripture? Have a wild guess. It's not Reader's Digest. So we went through Srimad Bhagavatam, and what's crème de la crème? Chaitanya Charitamrita. So today we're going to talk a little bit about one of the stories from this wonderful book. Who's read this book? Yeah, one person? 1.5? 2.5? Okay, all right. So I've read it, and it's one of the books I've enjoyed reading. So the next question I'm going to ask, who likes festivals? Put your hands up. We all like festivals. So festivals are a very, very integral part of our journey in Krishna consciousness. We have so many different festivals. So what's one of the festivals that comes into your mind straight away? Appearance of Lord Shri Krishna, amazing. I believe it's 4th of September? 5th? 4th? One of those weekends? 4th. So Janmashtami, another one? Panihati. You're running ahead. The guys, he knows what's on my mind, yeah? So yeah, Panihati. So cut to the chase, as they say. Start drawing it out. So yeah, it's a Panihati. Okay, not the handsome guy, not the clever clock guy. What does Panihati festival mean? You've already answered. What is the Panihati festival?
Chipped rice.
Chipped rice festival. So in India there's two types of rice, well many types of rice. Obviously Basmati is the king of the rice. We won't eat anything else except for Basmati. So Basmati is the king, and there's also something called chipped rice, which is flat rice. And then sometimes generally it's the more not too well-to-do, those who can't afford the Basmati rice, that's me. Then you go for the next level, which is the chipped rice. And there's another beautiful pastime. We won't deviate so much, but since you are seasoned devotees, what's another pastime which involves chipped rice? Not the ones who've already answered. What's another Leela, which is got chip rice in it. What did you have a shoot? Huh? Go on, might as well say it. It's in your. Huh? Sudama Brahmin, yes. So to Sudama Brahmin, he didn't have. Sorry? Okay, alright. Let's give it a clap. Excuse me, I'm going a little bit deaf, you know. So thank you very much. Sudama Brahmin is a beautiful, beautiful pastime. Very, very poor. Didn't have anything. In fact, they had nothing in the larder. So then the wife had to go and beg from the neighbors. And then when Sudama came, he came on the request of his wife. They were very poor. That please ask Krishna. He's very, very wealthy. Today's class was all about the opulence of Dwarka. Amazing place. And then when Sudama went there, and when Krishna asked, have you brought anything for me? He felt so embarrassed. Here is Krishna, master of 16,000 queens, all goddess of fortune, all ready to serve Krishna, all beautiful palaces, bedecked with jewels, beautiful parks. And what did he have? What did he have? Do you remember? Chip rice, a little morsel of chip rice. So when you go to Elon Musk and then you offer him a bit of chip rice, what's he going to say? Out. But Krishna's not like Elon Musk. Krishna is very, very kind to his devotees. So Krishna snatched that, and then Krishna didn't see the chip rice. Somebody else? What did Krishna see?
Love.
So the bhakti, so the love. It was saturated in that bhakti. That bhakti transcends the so-called value of an item. It is the bhakti that attracts. So back on track over here, chip rice. So I believe tomorrow is that festival. It's an important festival. It's in our Gaudiya tradition. We are generally known as Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Our lineage comes from Lord Chaitanya, and the Lord Chaitanya had many, many pastimes and followers. And one such follower, his name was Raghunath Das Goswami. And he is a member of what clan? Anyone? What is he a member of what clan?
Vaishya.
Huh?
Vaishya.
Vaishya, the Sat Goswamis. That's the 6 Goswamis, and then he's one of the 6 prominent followers, disciples of Lord Chaitanya. And he has a very, very interesting story. Talking about Elon Musk, actually, Raghunath Das Goswami was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Not in the literal sense. What does that mean? He was born rich. So anyone here born with a silver spoon in their mouth?
Or a golden one.
Golden one?
Plastic one.
Plastic one, yeah. I was born with a straw in my mouth. So yeah, there was 13 siblings. So you can imagine by the time the Weetabix came to me, it was all gone, you know. But Raghunath Das Goswami, his family fortune, me and a devotee calculated, this was 500 years ago, he wasn't rich, he wasn't a millionaire, he wasn't a multi-millionaire, he was a billionaire. The money that was coming in his father's business was literally in the billions, if you translate that to today's currency or value. So imagine being born in that kind of opulence. Very, very nice. Everything's literally laid out for you. Now just imagine you're in that situation. You're about 18 years old in a palace full of servants, everyone looking after you, freshly squeezed grapefruit brought to you, nice slices of sugar cane. Who would want to run away from that? Would you? Definitely. He's truthful. I like this guy. Give him a you would. So anyone with the right mood would not want to run away with those kind of opulence. On the contrary, if you look at the world outside, everyone is trying to get opulence. Everyone's trying to get more and more and more. That's generally the goal. But Raghunath Das Goswami, he was not in any way attached to any of his father's opulence. He only had one thing in his mind, Eka Kauru Nandana. Seasoned devotees, what does Eka Kauru Nandana mean?
Pinpointed focus.
Focus, one single, Eka. He only wanted one thing, nothing else. And his mind was fully concentrated on this. And what was this focus, Eka Kauru Nandana? What was his focus?
Krishna.
Krishna, yes, it was Krishna, but in that particular time he was physically alive. What was his goal? What did he want to do?
To become the servant of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and carry out his message.
He wanted to meet Lord Chaitanya. He wanted to go and see Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya was a big happening thing that was happening in Jagannath Puri. He was attracting thousands and thousands of people. Wherever Lord Chaitanya went, everybody was chanting, Hare Krishna!
Hare Krishna!
Hare Krishna!
Hare Krishna!
So everywhere Lord Chaitanya was chanting, there was Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And the atmosphere was electric. It was magnetic. Everyone was attracted. And it's explained that when the Sankirtan party, like today, you saw as it was passing, was there anyone miserable? Was anyone wanting to chuck any eggs at us? Maybe in the 70s. But everyone was happy. Everyone was blissful. And that's how Lord Chaitanya's Harinam was. Wherever he went, it says it was like a whirlwind. When I was in America, I saw a twister. You've seen that film, The Twister? I saw this twister and I saw it going round and round and mine was going, going in there. And that's what Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement was compared to. It was like a twister. Wherever he went, it was just picking up conditioned souls. And it's explained that sometimes a villager will be there just watching, and before you know it, somebody would pull him in the twister and he'll be going from village to village, and when the twister would calm down for lunch and he would look around, hey, this is 5 villages away from where I live. So Lord Chaitanya was a happening thing. It was the McCoy. It was the real thing. And everybody's talking about it. When something great comes, it's normal. Everyone's talking about it. And this talking came to the ears of Raghunath Das Goswami. And then he wanted to meet this sensation, this personality. So then he asked his father, hey, Father, I want to go and see Lord Chaitanya. What did his father say? No. Because his father didn't become rich just by all falling on his lap. He was a smart guy. Because he was thinking, if my son goes to see Lord Chaitanya, what's going to happen?
He's not coming back.
He's not coming back. He's going to be 5 villages down the road. And it was known that many people gave up just to be with Lord Chaitanya. Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta, Gopal Bhatta, so many, Ramananda, Swarup, they were all attracted. That's why Krishna's name is Krishna, he's all attractive. Chaitanya means living force. So that living force was attracting everyone. So then the father knew that if my son went, then he'll never come back. Which reminds me a little bit of a story when I wanted to join the temple. So 1 year before, my brother had joined. My parents were heartbroken. Some of you may be in an Indian family, you can maybe relate to this. Bhakti ghare karvanu thodu. Then my father said, "Can I suit tame daitu che patra? Why you want to go there?" And he tried to convince me not to go. He already lost one son. But me and Godruma, my man, what is it? The good cop or the bad cop? What cop is it? Guys, come on. Well, let's hear what he has to say. Then you guys decide who's the bad cop or the bad cop.
At the manor, they sometimes ask me, some new guests that come and take them on a tour, and they say, "What's your name?" I said, "It's Godruma." And they say, "It's a difficult name to remember." So I said to them, if you remember God and a room, that's the easy way to remember. And also, if I've been good, it's a good rumor. And if I've been bad, it's a bad rumor. Yes.
So me, Godruma, we were all making different packs we want to join. We used to have a club called the Mahabharat Club. So in my school, we were 3 people who decided to join the temple. We made our calculations. We were only about 17 years old. And we made our calculations, we made our getaway plan. And then we decided this Friday night, a devotee, do you remember Madhavacharya? He was going to pick us up. So he was meant to pick us up at 5:30, just like the Sangha group starts at 7. Then we were to go to South Hall and then we'd be there. Then 5:30 I was there. You get very anxious. I was in the street corner. I had my bags over there. 17-year-old kid waiting. And I was waiting for my friend. There was no phone. There's no way you could contact them. Couldn't send a smoke signal or anything. No one came after half an hour. Then Madhavacharya, he came. And then he said, "Prabhu, let's go, we're late." One of the mantras of the devotee from Hare Krishna mantra is, "Prabhu, we're late." So then it's getting late and he says, "Let's jump in." Then he says, I'm waiting for my friends. Because all through the school for nearly 4 years we were tight. We used to go on the weekends, we used to bicycle it there. Then I was a little bit disappointed and gutted because we never drew any blood, but we kind of made such a solid commitment we're going to do it. And then after waiting for nearly 1 hour, they didn't show up. Then it was just me in the end. Then Godruma was there meeting. There was a few other devotees. You might have heard of Dwakapuri. Anyone heard of Dwakapuri? No? Lucky you. But my friends didn't come. And then 1 year later, my younger brother, Krishna Govinda, he decided, well, why are my 2 brothers having all the fun? So he decided, I want to join the temple also. So he runs away like Raghunath Das Goswami. And by this time, my dad, he's had enough of this. What the hell's going on? I could tolerate losing one son. I could literally tolerate losing that naughty one. It was good to get rid of that one, But this one, Krishna Govinda, there's some prospects. He could be a very nice boy. And then he was there for about 2 days. And before you know it, some police cars came. And they were only bad cops, no good cops in that one. And before you know it, my brother was hustled inside the back of the car. And before you know it, he was taken back home. 1, 2, 3. But all's well? Ends well. So although he didn't join, like me or Raghunath, he still became a devotee, he's initiated. In fact, I can proudly say he's a much better devotee than me. So although I joined physically, he advanced much, much more, So then Raghunath, when the father said no, then just like me, I decided to go. He also decided to go, and then he ran away. And when he ran away in the morning, when the dad came or the servants came, one time I thought I was being clever. What I did was I got some pillows and put it under the duvet, and I thought, like, if my dad or mom opened it, oh, he's sleeping over there, So I don't know if Raghunath did that, but I did that. Anyway, so then he saw that his son wasn't there. The room was empty. He was completely flabbergasted. He only had one son. And then if you got this big empire, then it's generally, have you seen that? Smiths and Jones and Patel and... So it's important that the inheritance goes to, or the company or the business or whatever goes to the children. The king is always anxious to have someone to inherit the kingdom. So then he sent a search party, and then, Raghunath Das, he got caught up, they caught him, and they brought him back. And this happened not once, it not happened twice, it happened umpteen times, and at a certain point they started locking his room. He was under house arrest. So then, he was a smooth talker, Raghunath Das Goswami. I don't know if you've read any of his literatures. He's a real smooth talker. Most devotees are smooth talkers, otherwise you guys wouldn't be here today. So then he convinced the guards that actually to let him go. So such conviction, the guards were paid to keep him in the room, but his conviction was so strong that he managed to convince the guards to let him go. And then he ran away. And then by this time, then he arrived in one place. He was looking for Lord Chaitanya. Then he saw a group of devotees, just like you guys from Rochester. And then they were all there, and they were surrounded by one amazing person. Who was this person? Lord Nityananda. And Lord Nityananda was sitting over there, and then he immediately recognize Raghunath, and he said, "Hey Raghunath, come over here." And of course he was very, very shy. He didn't want to come. And then again he said, "Raghunath, come over here." And then Lord Nityananda's associates brought Raghunath and said, "You are a thief. You are trying to get to Lord Chaitanya without first asking my permission or getting my mercy. You can't go to Lord Chaitanya without the mercy of Lord Nityananda." There's a group of devotees in India. They accept Lord Chaitanya, but they don't accept Lord Nityananda. And Lord Chaitanya himself said, "If you accept me, but not my brother, you will not get my mercy." So then Lord Nityananda said, "I have to punish you." You know, a thief gets punished, isn't it? So then there has to be a punishment for the thief. So the punishment wasn't like a naughty corner room, wasn't a slap on the wrist, wasn't one of those physical capital punishment. It was a punishment. Now you have to feed all the Vaishnavas. And I want you to have what festival? Chipped rice festival. So Raghunath, he was obviously come from a rich family. Then he went to all the shops and he bought all the different ingredients and the pots. And then again, it was some kind of fever of a festival. What's going on? Hey Prabhu, what's going on? And then that's explaining, you're making all this chipped rice. And then everyone gathered some yogurt, some cream, and they were making all these different preparations. Who's had chipped rice? Okay, so I'm going to quickly go around and see what your favorite is. So I will start with Good Cop, Good Das. What's your favorite chipped rice?
Chipped rice with yogurt and strawberry.
Chipped rice, yogurt, and strawberries. Okay, it's a nice little pot there. It's got some yogurt there. It's very, very creamy, and then it's got some strawberries in. And I believe that canned strawberries are one of the best. Is that true? Or is it a fib? What's your favorite? Do you have a favorite? Do you like chip rice? Have you had before?
I've never had chip rice, but I'm hoping to.
Okay, all right. Somebody please make her desire fulfilled, yeah? Tomorrow somebody please take some chip rice for her. What's your favorite? The savory one, yeah. It's not only the sweet one, the savory one. So what's your savory one? Yogurt spices. Mr. Handsome, what's your favorite?
She got mine.
Oh, yeah?
Same thing, fried and with peanuts and spicy.
Very nice. What's your favorite?
Same, I've only tried it once. It was prepared similar spices.
Dana, what's your favorite? He's a seasoned devotee. He's probably had more chip rice and the hot meals. Huh? Pure and? Oh, very nice. I'm going to ask one more. What's that?
Yeah. Yes.
Poha.
He's got one.
Venu, what's yours?
Was it?
Chip rice.
That's a bad song.
Sweet and condensed milk and blueberries.
Would you like to know what mine is?
Yes.
Are you sure? Mine is nice, creamy yogurt, chip rice with Alfonso mangoes inside it. Ooh, let's have a king of the fruit mangoes. So all these different variations of chip rice were made. Lord Nityananda was sitting there with all his followers. He looked majestic. You know, at the night you see all the colorful, bright stars, but in the middle is the moon. I think it's going to be a full moon soon. So Lord Nityananda, Nitai Pada Kamala, he's like shining like the full moon, and all the stars around him are like all his associates. And they were bringing loads of chip rice for Lord Nityananda. He was eating it, and then he was serving it to everyone, and everyone was feeling blissful, and they're all chanting, Haribo! But you don't sound very blissful.
I haven't had that chip rice
Okay.
yet.
Okay, let's try. Everyone is feeling Haribo! 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 And amongst that bliss, something magical happened. Something that completely blew everyone's mind. What do you think? Seasoned devotees, you're not allowed to open yours. What do you think happened, Prabhuji? The bill came. The bill. What was it? Something amazing happened. No one could even believe what happened. Lord Chaitanya himself manifested in the physical form. He was somewhere else. He was in Jagannath Puri. I don't 100% recall where he was geographically, but because of the Haribol, then that attracted Lord Chaitanya. What's going on over here? Sometimes when there's a Harinam going on, I've been on London Harinam, and they hear the chanting, and then people get attracted. What's this one? And they're having the video, and they get caught up also chanting, dancing, you know. So then Lord Chaitanya was attracted, and there were so many devotees, people from all over the places, the villages, they were all coming. There was no space on the land. So then where were they going if there's no space on the land? In the river. So there's a nice picture at the manor. I don't know if you've been in the Prasadam room. There's a nice picture of the Panihati festival. There's Lord Nityananda, there's Lord Chaitanya, everyone's surrounded, and some of them are in the river. You know, like now the weather's nice. We were just early, like having a little bit of a splash in the ocean. And everyone was there eating the chip rice, and everyone very blissful, very, very happy. And a festival is called Utsav. That's a Sanskrit word. What does Utsav mean? Anyone?
Enjoy happiness.
Sorry? Happiness, it means to uplift. Ut. Like when you get up, ut. So it means to uplift. So after you had this chip rice with all the devotees, you get uplifted. Yesterday, some of us, we were at the Hastings. We had a Hare Krishna festival. Anyone there? No? It was such a uplifting festival. We arrived back home at 12 o'clock at night, and I just could not sleep. My mind was just thinking about the festival, the Kirtan, the Prasad, talking of all the wonders. So that's what Utsa means. It uplifts you, and that's what these festivals are. They uplifts you. So there's a nice section in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Veda base has it. So if you have some time, you can read a little bit about it. And if you want to venture a little bit more, you can make some chip rice. And then, so if some kind Vaishnava can go, do you live far away?
Sorry?
Do you live far away?
Quite a distance, yeah.
Oh. Okay, well, anyway, maybe next time with someone other, next gathering, someone can make a little bit for her.
I will make the southern next Friday chip rice.
Oh, thank you. Very good. Everyone put your favorites, mangoes, strawberries, avocados, yeah, what else? Shri Nityananda Prabhu ke, Shri Raghunath Das Goswami ke, all of you ke. Thank you very much. So I'd like to hand over to God.
Any questions, please?
Questions.
I have a personal question.
Thank you.
Your father had 13 kids.
Yes.
And if 3 of them went in the path of Bhakti, why was he upset?
Oh, you would still have 10 left.
Yeah, of course.
Why was he upset? So if you recall, when I was talking about Raghunath Das Goswami, what was the father's mentality about his empire?
I mean, he has to, he has to, yeah, of course, he has to take over his empire.
Yeah. So my father, normally it's always that they want the children to get a good education, get married, have children, and carry on what they call the dynasty. So that's the traditional kind of understanding that's there in the Indian families. But Srila Prabhupada turned that upside down and broke that kind of understanding. And of course, many of us who come from that kind of pious background won't understand Bhakti Todu, Bhakti Gare, but not too much. So, and do you have any children? No. So then, when a parent does lose their child in something, even if it's in Bhakti, it's a difficult thing, especially when they're only 17, and then the parents always have high hopes for the children, and then all of a sudden they're wearing bed sheets and chanting on the street, you know. We had a friend, a very, Prabhuji this morning, me and Gotram were talking, which devotee inspires you the most? So I said Tribhuvanath. Anyone know who Tribhuvanath is? He's an amazing devotee.
Lester.
So, huh?
Lester.
No, Tribhuvanath, a Prabhupada disciple. So then he joined, he was very, very, very young, only 16 years old. And then he didn't even tell his father. And then one day his father turned the TV on, and then he was then being interviewed. I'm a Hare Krishna monk, all shaven. And he said, that's my son, what the hell is he doing there? I sent him to England to study, and he's become a Hare Krishna. And he says, I'm the president of the temple. This guy can't even manage his socks. What the hell is he going to become a temple president? So yeah, parents do get a little bit like Raghunath's father, like my father. But all's well. So my father, my mother, afterwards they reconciled. Then they were very, very happy with me becoming a devotee. And in fact, they were quite proud. Our sons are Krishna. You will tell that. Thank you very much. Let's have a little bit of round of applause for Godruma, the good Das Korb.
Hare Krishna. So, Jaya Krishna is the head of the Bhaktivedanta Players drama team at Bhaktivedanta Manor Temple. Have any of you seen him in any of the dramas?
Yeah.
Yeah. What role was he playing?
I couldn't recognise him because of the costume.
Oh, for the costume, yeah. Could you, can any of you remember any of the roles that he was playing in any of the dramas? But yeah, he plays sometimes good ones and sometimes demons as well. He does a good demon. Yeah?
But that's explained now in the back of
So he plays Hanuman as well, so he does many things. So, but he's head of the Bhaktivedanta Players, and this year they celebrate 40th anniversary. Last year.
This is 41.
41. So last year's 40th anniversary of the famous Bhaktivedanta Players drama team, and they travelled all around the world doing festivals. But whenever he gives a talk, he dramatizes it as well. You know? So he doesn't have to have his whole drama troupe with him, and he can still entertain people. You know? So
last year, this one.
Oh, the Lion King.
and yeah, so tomorrow morning he's catching a train back, and he has to. There's an emergency wedding that needs to be done at the temple. So whenever he does weddings, he also uses his humor and wit and things. So usually many Indian weddings can go on and on and on, and it gets a bit boring, you know, especially for people who are not from that tradition, you know. Or usually the people like talking amongst themselves or, you know, looking on the phone. But sometimes it can be like 2 or 3 hours or more in the weddings, you know. But when he's doing the wedding, no one falls asleep or is inattentive, right? He captures their attention. You know? So very nice standing back. So what would you like to hear about? Do you have any questions, or should I ask you some questions, or is there in the last 9 minutes, would you like any topic that you'd like to hear about, or should I just do whatever I want? Okay, so when he joined the temple, I joined with him. So my father, he was a Sanskrit scholar. So he was born in Punjab in India, and then he went to a place called Haridwar, which is in North India where the Ganges flows. So who's been or heard about Haridwar? Yeah, okay. So my father studied there 14 years to do a Veda Lanka Sanskrit degree. And then he got married and he moved to Africa. So I was born in Kenya, in East Africa. Nairobi, very nice place. He was also born in Kenya. And then in 1971, my father was invited to come to Leeds in Yorkshire to be the priest of a Hindu temple. And I was only 8 years old at the time, so I came with him, and I was living in the priest quarters at the Hindu temple in Yorkshire in Leeds when I was going to school. And I think I was 9 years old, 1972, and devotees from Bhaktivedanta Manor, well actually from Brother London Ishwar Temple, very place, they came to Leeds, and they were staying at the Hindu temple for about 4 or 5 days, because they were doing some preaching programs in Leeds and at the university. So I was very young, 8 years old, 9 years old, so I didn't know very much philosophy, but there was one sannyasi, Ravati Nandan Swami. Did you ever meet Ravati Nandan? Yeah. And Bhumadev, many other Prabhupada disciples. So I just, because I was so young, I didn't know so much, but I just, in my mind, they were so kind and so nice and helpful and everything. And many years later, when I went to Bhaktivedanta Manor in 1979, one of the devotees who was the temple president there, his name was Bhumadev, he says, "Oh, I remember you. I used to pick you up and give you prasadam, you know, they used to carry you." So obviously it was planting the seed. So then later, my father, he moved to Southall, West London, and he became the priest of the Hindu temple there. So I used to live in the priest quarters there, and I used to go to the school there. And in 1979, a devotee called Akandari, does any of you know Akandari? Yeah. So he's from Northern Ireland. So he and some other devotees, they did a Hare Krishna festival at the Hindu temple where my father was a priest in Southall, Lady Margaret Road Temple. And then they did a youth program at the following Friday in the upstairs hall. So they would bring the electric guitars, you know, and the synthesizer, and something madanga, kartals, harmonium and things. So we would have electric kirtan, because a lot of the youngsters were looking towards the West to you know, try and be like the Western people, you know. And many of them were kind of losing touch with their own culture. So it was called Mahabharat Youth Clubs, East meets West, you know? So they were using all those things. So every Friday night, 60 or 70 of us used to gather there, and we used to have rip-roaring kirtans, you know. We used to chant and dance like anything, and then we used to ask all these challenging questions, you know, about, you know, all the bogus scientific theories that we'd been taught. You know, we were spouting them out. So we would say, oh, well, you know, life is just a combination of different chemicals. There's no God, there's no soul. That's what our teachers would tell us, you know. We all came about from a big bang, you know. And then the thing was, Akandari, he was a scientist, and he was very, very clever. So he defeated our arguments, you know, with ration and logic and scripture, you know. So then we'd go back and study more and get more questions and come and challenge more. And there was one devotee, remember Sri Jiva?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was studying genetics, you know, and he'd come up with all these arguments, but even he got defeated as well. So after you've been defeated quite a few times, then they say if you can't beat them, join them. So me and Jaya Krishna and another like 12 or 13 other devotees, we joined the temple altogether in 1980. But before that, when we were coming to the program, instead of just giving us some japa beads, they told us, okay, you go to this shop in London and you get this nylon thread and you get these wooden beads, and then this is how you have to make your own japa beads. Right? And they gave us a bag full of books, you know, like a hold-all full of Prabhupada's books, and they gave us a bag full of spiritual sky incense. Remember the spiritual sky incense? And then we said, what do we do with these? He said, oh, go and sell them. You know? And we were like teenagers. I was like 16 at the time. So we were going door to door and knocking on the door, and somebody would open the door and they'd say, yeah, what can we do for you? I said, oh, we're just doing some voluntary work for the temple, and we've got some nice spiritual books, you know, we showed them this, and they said, what's it about? I said, well, I don't know what it's about. They just sent us out to sell them. Because we hadn't really read the books, you know. And then I remember one time, most of the time people didn't really take many books, but we would have like 10 different flavors of spiritual sky incense, so we would put them out like a fan like that, you know. So I remember I knocked on one door, this was in Southall, and I was with Dwarkapuri, and then the door opened and this African black mama came big to the door, said, what do you want? You know? So it was like, oh, we were scared of her, you know. And we said, oh, we have some spiritual books, do you want a spiritual book? She said, no, I don't want a spiritual book. I said, okay, well, how about some incense? Do you want some incense? She said, what is this incense? So we didn't know what to say, but we had not been trained. I said, if you burn it, it keeps the flies away. So then she said, well, there's many flavors here, which one is really good? So I looked at her and I looked at the flavors, I said, African violet. So then she bought one of those. You know? So we didn't really know what we were doing, we weren't trained in it, but we were just trying our best. You know? We were kids, you know. And then later on, after we joined the temple, me and Jaya Krishna and other devotees who were with us, we traveled all over the country, and we were doing door to door, you know, all over in Leicester, we did the whole of Leicester twice over, door to door. We did Birmingham, we did Manchester, we did Bolton, we did Preston. We'd have different names for different cities, you know. Like Preston, we used to call it Depreston. And Birmingham was burning hell, you know. and Bradford was Sadford. You know. So anyway, we would just go knock on doors. So one time, we were staying at an old, run-down Hindu temple in Leicester, and it was in the area. Does anybody know Leicester at all? Yeah. Or you know Highfields area. There was a Cromford Street Hindu temple, and it was a really kind of run-down building. It was not in good repair. But we didn't have any ISKCON temples at that time up in the north, so we would ask the temple management of the Hindu temple if we can stay in the upstairs hall and we can go and preach in the local area. So they said, yeah, no problem. But it was quite rough, so like you see a carpet here, so in the upstairs hall we would walk up and down chanting our japa, and afterwards you could peel a black layer off your feet. You know, it was like greasy. And then we would have a khichdi, and then we'd put a cloth on the floor like this, and we'd put our plates there, and we'd be serving the khichdi, and then there'd be cockroaches crawling all across the... So they said if your khichdi was extra crunchy, you'd have extra protein. So anyway, it was quite a run-down place in Cromford Street Temple. So the devotees were doing door to door. So Jaya Krishna and one other devotee that was with him, they knocked on the door, and this, in Leicester, and then this young man opened the door, and he was an Elvis fan, and he had the Brill cream and the Elvis hairstyle and Elvis clothing. So anyway, they managed to sell this young man 2 books, 2 of Srila Prabhupada's books, and he had a jar that he would keep like all the change after work. So he emptied that in a bag and he gave it to them. So he told the devotees told him that we're staying at this Cromford Street Hindu temple and we'll be there for a month at least, you know. So if you have any questions after reading the books, you can come, or if you want any more books, come and see us there. So a few weeks later, this boy, this Gujarati boy who's an Elvis fan, he turned up there and he said, I was reading this book and it says this, but can you explain what this means? You know? We said, yeah, okay, we'll explain what that means. He said, have you got any more books? So we gave him another book. And we said to him, the next day, we had a very big festival called Lord Nityananda's Appearance Day. But we were traveling and our, prasadam was very meager. But our wealthy life member, congregation member in Leicester had invited us. And they were going to cook a big feast, And so we said, look, there's a festival happening tomorrow, and we'll give you the address of the gentleman. You can come there for the festival. So then we went there, and this young boy that we had met, Jitendra, his name was, he cycled there. And then we had amazing Kirtan, and we had amazing pastimes of Lord Nityananda. And the gentleman's wife was a good cook, like Meenal, So she had cooked 22 preparations. So, we would eat quite frugal in the other times. So we were piling our plates up like Govardhan Hill, all of us. So this young boy, he was thinking, oh, that's how you meant to do it. He was piling up his plate as well as eating a lot. So at the end, what happened was he couldn't cycle back because he had eaten so much. So one of the devotees called Sakyaras had to put his cycle in the car and give him a lift home. And a few months later, when we were leaving Leicester, we met him on Narborough Road with his rucksack, because his parents realized that he wanted to go and join the temple, so they wouldn't let him out. So he tied the bed sheets together and climbed out the window with his rucksack, and he met us on Narborough Road, and he jumped in on the car. That was 1981. And he was only there at the manor one day, and then the next day I took him out doing door-to-door book distribution in East London. We had no Bhakti program, no training, no Bhakti Shastri. Just get your book bag on and get out the door. That was our training. So that young boy, he later on became the head pujari of Bhaktivedanta Manor for over 30 years. Gadadhar Prabhu. Yeah. So when we were doing door-to-door in Leicester, I knocked on one door, and this lady opened the door, and she's like got a frown on her face. I said, we're from Hare Krishna temple, and we have some nice prasad, and we have some, we have some nice books and things. And she said, I'm not interested. I said, well, that might be the case, but the books are very interesting. And then she slammed the door. So we knocked, because those houses are all terraced, you know, they're all next to each other. We knocked on the next door neighbour. I said, we tried to, you know, give a book to your neighbour, but she said she's not interesting. He said, yeah, she's a right old hag, you know. She said, she's not very nice. I said, don't worry, we'll buy a book like that. So we would do many things. Sometimes what would happen is we press the bell on the door, and then they would turn the lights out to pretend they're not in. Or sometimes the curtain would open. And one thing in Preston, we did something really funny in Preston. We were doing door-to-door in Preston, me and one of the Scottish devotees, Nishingide. And we knocked on the door, and this girl came to the door. She was about 13, 14. I said, we're from Hare Krishna temple. This was an Indian family. I said, are your parents in? Can we speak to your parents? So she went down the corridor and into the kitchen, and I could hear them vaguely speaking in Gujarati. So she's saying, Hare Krishnas are here, and they're saying, tell them we're not in. So then she came back and she said, my parents are not in. So I said, okay, that's fine. I said, can you go and ask them what time they'll be back? So then she starts. Anyway, we had a lot of fun. We had lots of different situations, and sometimes we were, you know, we didn't have the right, you know, clothing or the footwear. It was like 1981 was the worst winter for a long time. It was solid ice on the ground. And we had like sandals. We didn't have a coat. We had like chadar and things. We did so many different things, but we went through a lot of austerities and a lot of difficulties, but we just tried to serve with devotion. We tried to do the best of our ability and spread Krishna consciousness. But so many magical things happened along the way. So like this last one I'll tell you before we finish. So I was in Edinburgh. I was in Scotland Temple for 17 years. We were doing book distribution all over Scotland and the north of England. Anyone here from the north of England? Which? Oh, Leeds. Yeah, okay. So White Rose, isn't it? White Rose. Yeah. They said that's God's own county, isn't it? Yeah, that's what they said. Because the biggest county. So we were taking devotees out from Kruna Bevan Temple in Scotland to different cities. So once or twice a week we would go to Edinburgh and go distribute books. Anybody been to Princess Street in Edinburgh? Yeah. So it's a massive street, like a mile long, and it's like your biggest shopping place. So this day I was taking out the devotees for book distribution, and I was saying, today, you know, I just want a quiet, peaceful day. I don't want to be in the middle of the madness on the main street where there's thousands of people rushing past you. So I dropped the other devotees there. Then I went to a suburb of Edinburgh, where there was like a few small shops, and every so often somebody would come. So I had my book bag with me, and I was learning some verses from the Gita until somebody was coming. Then I saw this young Scottish boy coming, so I stopped him. I said, oh, we're monks, you know, and we have some very nice books, spiritual books. I showed him the books. I said, would you like to take a book and give a donation? He said, no, I'm not interested. I want a book. Okay, I said, all right. I said, can you say Gauranga? He said, Gauranga, what's all that about? Well, I could say to him, it's about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha and Krishna appeared 500 years ago in the golden avatar. But I just said it means be happy, because Lord Chaitanya wants everyone to be happy. So then he said, all right, Gauranga, you know. And then I thought, he didn't take a book, he didn't give a donation. So I'll ask him, I said, we're monks, so we live in a temple or a monastery. Would you like to get a block of butter or a pint of milk, and then we could take that back to the temple or the monastery on your behalf? So this is a suburb of Edinburgh, and he's walking down the street, and you can see his mind. He's saying the wheels are turning. There's somebody asking him for a block of butter or a pint of milk. It's like, you know, he said, I ain't got a block of butter on me or a pint of milk. I said, you see that there's a shop behind you. I said, oh, you want me to go in the shop and get it? Then he was thinking, what's the worst thing you'll probably do with it is eat it or drink it, right? He said, oh, what the hell? He went in and brought me a pint of milk. So then I remembered I had the leaflet in my bag, because every Friday night at St. John's Church in St. Princess Street, we would do a sangha like this, Namhata Sangha. So I said, oh, we have a meeting, meditation evening, music, philosophy, and free vegetarian food, and now you can come along. So fine, I gave him that. And then the next week, when they were leaving the temple in the morning, temple commander said, okay, after you do your book distribution, you give the class at the Sangha, you set everything up in Edinburgh. Fine, I did. I set it, and then this boy walks in. Now this boy, guess who he is now? Anybody heard of the Scottish Govinda, that's Harinam in London? Yeah, that was him. Yeah. So you never know who you're going to meet, I didn't even remember him. And one day, at the old Prasadam room in the manor, he came up to me, he said, oh, Prabhu, remember you stopped me, you're trying to sell me a book, and I didn't buy a book. He said, but you made me buy a pint of milk. I said, that was a costly pint of milk, it cost you your life. So anyway, when you're trying to spread Krishna consciousness and you're trying to just do it to the best of your ability, then magic happens, so much magic happens, and we've experienced it so many places all over the place. Like even yesterday, when we went to Hastings, the big Hare Krishna festival, there was more than 100 people turned up, and the windows didn't open in that place, it was sweltering, but for 2-3 hours, the people just stayed there, and it was just like, it was the magical, people just transformed. So anyway, please, do your best and share Krishna consciousness, and you can only give what you have, you can't give what you don't have, So every day that you practices that you perform, they give you the strength and the ability to connect with Krishna, and then the more you are absorbed in Krishna, the more you will have the potency, and the more, somebody said, I want to become detached. So there's no separate detachment. You can only become detached to the degree that you're attached to Krishna. It's like it's one caterpillar, it's letting go of one leaf, but it doesn't float in the middle. He has to grab hold of another leaf to let go of the first one. So the more you become attached to Krishna, that's to the degree that you become detached from all the other things. So like, if I try to push if this room is dark, if I try to push the darkness out, I'll struggle with that. But if I put the light on, the darkness will go. So the Krishna Surya Sama Hoya, Maya Hoya Andhakar, Jahan Krishna, Tahan Maya Nahi Adhikar. So Maya is all like darkness, So wherever there is Krishna, Krishna is like the sun, So if you bring the sun of Krishna into your lives, into the lives of others, then there will be no darkness or ignorance or Maya, and you will be happy and you'll make others happy. So thank you very much. Sorry for going a little bit over time. And Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada ki, Anand Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Anand Haridasa Thakur ki, Sri Sanatan Bhadra Raghunath Ji Gopal Das Raghunath Sahib Goswami Prabhupada ki, Raghunath Das Goswami ki, Nityananda Ram ki, Hey Gangamai ki, Ramanmai ki, Shri Panchatattva ki, Shri Sivara Gokulanand ki, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Shri Gorintai ki, Jagannath Subhadra Balaram ki, Shri Vrindavan ki, Brahma Pradham ki, Lakshman Jagannath Puri Dham ki, Dwarka Puri Dham ki, Harinam Sankirtan Yoga Dharma ki, Shri Prabhupada Transcendental Book Distribution ki, Vaishnava Sangha Vaishnava Seva ki, Samaveda Bhakti Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande, all verses of the devotees, all verses of the devotees, all verses of the devotees, all verses of Lord Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga.
Hare Krishna. What a dream, huh? Everyone's sweating like nothing pouring down. Huh? Are you tired?
No.
No? Not tired. Still okay? Haribo! Haribo! And thank you for always coming to enlighten us and making this meeting so wonderful.
We become inspired when we are with all of you.
And whenever you come, there's always something.
Yeah, especially
always
if you bring
more
him.
journey. There's more journey. That's really fantastic.
Right.
I think we did not welcome them with our traditional three Haribos. I think let's welcome them. Haribo! 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 Hare Krishna. So tomorrow we have a Sangha at Graves and Hindu Temple. That's from 3 to 5. And then we have a house program from 6 to 9, I think, in Eden. So if anyone really want to come, please do come. It would be nice. The next Friday we have Bhagavad Gita Bhakti on 3rd of July. Yeah? I think we need to make a connection. I think he was scheduled to come. We'll inquire that. Then next Saturday we have 4 hours Kirtan that at Radhanasrom's farm in Koham. So 4 hours Kirtan, they will have until Aarti and they will have speech as usual. So please come and invite more and more people so they can all benefit of 4 hours Hari Kirtan. Okay. The next one is the big one that's coming. Yeah, that's the issue. So the big one is coming for us is on 29th of August. We have a big festival for us that we're celebrating in Green High. I'm sure you may have seen the leaflets there. I think devotees are finding the leaflets. That's going to take 25 by finding. So 29th of August, please invite whoever you meet. Connor, what happened to your high tech?
Finding the leaflets.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, so we have a very special guest for that program, so please spread the news. His Holiness Keshav Maharaj is coming for that program, and we're still looking for a few things, to shout out, but things will be ready by then. This is the festival, Bhakti and Bliss Yoga Festival, and there's a QR code. Please scan that and you can register it for free. So please spread the news, yeah? Please spread the news with your friends and colleagues whoever you meet. Yeah? Hare Krishna. Anything else, Prabhu? Oh, yes. So that's the 4 hours Kirtan. Please don't miss it. It's going to be a good one. I think the weather is okay that day. So we'll do outdoor 4 hours Kirtan. And it will be nice. Yeah.
Rather than farms had a big upgrade there.
Yes, it is. Anything else? Any more announcements? No, I think
Your
that's it.
horses are standing there, Prabhu.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you again for everyone coming this evening. Yeah. We meet every Friday, so please spread the news. We meet every Friday. Hare Krishna. Mahaprasade.
महाप्रसादे गोविंदे
महाप्रसादे गोविंदे
नाम ब्रह्मणि वैष्णवे
नाम ब्रह्मणे वैष्णवे
स्वल्प पुण्यवतां राजन्
स्वल्प पुण्यवतां राजन्
विश्वासो नैव जायते
विश्वासो नैव जायते
शरीराविद्याजाल
शरीराविद्याजाल
ज्योतिन्द्रिय काहे काल
ज्योतिन्द्रिय काहे काल
जीवे फैले विषय सागरे
जीवे फैले विषय सागरे
कारामध्य जिह्वाति लोभमोय सुदुर्मति ताके जेता कठिन संसारे कृष्ण बरो दयामय कोरी बारे जिह्वा जाय स्वप्रसाद अन्न दिलो भाई से अन्नामृता पाओ राधा कृष्ण गुण गाओ प्रेमे दातो चैतन्य निताय जय निमाय जय निताय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे महाप्रसाद की